Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
And need to turn a mic on here. All right. We good? All right. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Again, glad you could be here if you didn't hear me the first time. You need to have a mic turned on, right? All right. Here we go. How you doing? Doing okay? All right. Maybe. Not sure. Yeah, I know. It gets like that sometimes, right? Other times it's pretty clear. Everything's just fine. And then other times, well, we don't know. It's okay. We'll try to bring some clarity to things, at least regarding health, wellness, and well-being. Hopefully you don't make it more confusing. So, although sometimes that can happen. I get confused myself trying to figure it out. But eventually we sort it out and try to provide a little bit of guidance, help you make some good decisions. I can't make them for you. Everybody has to make their own choices, obviously. But we would like those choices to be informed, and not only informed, but informed with data or with information that you can rely upon. So wherever and however I can, I look for the evidence. Where can we find some evidence to support what we're talking about on the show? That becomes very important, in my opinion. I mean, if I were sitting there listening and somebody was saying this and that about whatever, is that just their opinion? They're entitled to their opinion. It may be a good opinion, but is it based in any sort of evidence? Is there any foundation? You know, there's theory and hypotheses that try to help us understand. A theory is simply an explanation. That's all it is. Answers the question why. Why does something happen this way or that way? It answers the question why. So we'll see what we can do to confirm or disconfirm some of our beliefs with the evidence. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. I came across several stories and studies that are trending, and there are three of them that are interconnected, totally independent studies that the researchers, I don't even think, know one another. I don't think so. One out of Massachusetts General, one out of the University of Adelaide, and one from Frontiers. They're interconnected, you'll see. See if we can make sense of this. The first story, in fact, I heard it reported this morning, early this morning, very early, on the news, major news outlet. think it was either CNN or one of them. Yeah, I think it was CNN. And the way they reported it was not accurate. What do I mean? It was incomplete. Let me put it this way. It was incomplete. The reporting was incomplete. And if you read the headline on this, which they did, they got it from the same source I did. I'm sure of that. I know that. If they would have looked into the study a little further, they would have added an important piece. The headline on it was high animal protein intake associated with higher plant protein with lower mortality rate. In other words, a high consumption of animal protein, higher mortality rate, plant protein, lower mortality rate. That's true for this study. The data, that headline is true, but there is something missing, and I'll explain. Now, excuse me, according to the researchers, this particular study is the largest study to examine the effects of different sources of dietary protein. Protein comes in different food sources, from different food sources. And they found that a high intake of proteins from animal sources, and they said, parenthetically, particularly processed and unprocessed meats, was correlated with a higher mortality rate. That is true. Their data showed that, but there's more. And then they said, while a high intake of protein from plant sources was associated with a lower risk of death. That's a clean finding. There's nothing much more to add to that. So the study gives me, I have confidence in the study because they used two very good data sets. They used the Nurses' Health Study, which examines the health of women. This is a longitudinal study. I'll tell you where you can go and look at that study. They're still collecting data. And then they use the Health Professionals Follow-Up Study, which is all men. The Nurses' Health Study is all women. The Health Professionals Follow-Up Study out of Harvard is all men. Both of those studies are longitudinal studies. The data are good. So those were the two data sets that they used. So they did something good here. Now, all right. So let's see if we can break this out a little bit. A Dr. Min-Yang Song. She's a research fellow at Massachusetts General Hospital and some other places. I won't long titles. She's one of the researchers in the study. By the way, this study was published in JAMA, Journal of the American Medical Association, a highly prestigious journal. Overall, she said, our findings support the importance of the sources of dietary protein for long-term health outcomes. While previous studies have primarily focused on the overall amount of protein intake, which is important, she said, from a broad dietary perspective, the particular foods that people consume to get protein are equally important. So what's the source of the protein here? Our findings also have public health implications and can help refine current dietary recommendations about protein intake. In light of the fact that it's not only the amount of protein, but the specific food sources that is critical for long-term health, close quote. So she's making sense. It's absolutely right. When I come back, I'll explain why that headline is a little misleading. It is true. They did not misrepresent the data. But there's some, like when they were reporting this on that major news outlet this morning on TV, they only focused on the headline. It would have been even more interesting if they would have reported the other part of the story and the study. And this study, if you read the headline, one might get the impression that you need to cease and desist with the eating of meat. That's not necessarily true. It's how much meat and what kind of meat, and you can still eat meat provided that, I'll tell you the rest.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic aged garlic extract a part of your daily routine. For years, medical researchers have recommended adding Kyolic to the diet as a powerful tool to enhancing overall heart and immune health. Recent clinical studies at UCLA Medical Center using Kyolic suggest that garlic may slow plaque formation in the arteries and support healthy cholesterol and homocysteine levels. Previous research also shows Kyolic may enhance your immune system defenses. Kyolic is organic, odorless, and the only antioxidant garlic supplement available worldwide. Maintaining a healthier you could extend your life. Your wellness begins with Kyolic aged garlic extract, available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold. Visit kyolic.com, that's KYOLIC.com, or call 1-800-421-2998 for a free sample today.
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Zinnia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Zinnia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Zinnia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Zinnia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Zinnia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, and collagen and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you're strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Zinnia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Zinnia by name. Start taking Zinnia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing.
At Country Life Vitamins, we've been helping people live happy, healthy lives since 1971, and we believe integrity should always be our #1 ingredient. We are committed to this belief because you deserve high-quality nutrition, specifically crafted with the highest standards to support your health. Country Life's manufacturing facility is an NSF GMP-registered facility, as well as USDA certified organic, so you can feel good about the products you're taking. Country Life Vitamins is also the first supplement company in the United States to have a complete line of products certified gluten-free. That's over 500 products. Country Life Vitamins' pledge of integrity is based on 5 standards: authenticity, cleanliness, freshness, consistency, and accuracy. Ask for Country Life's top-selling products, such as Coenzyme B Advanced for increased energy or Flex Able for joint health. Country Life Vitamins' commitment to ensure all of our products are pure, wholesome, gluten-free supplements full of natural goodness provides peace of mind with the knowledge you are using a brand you can trust.
Did you know that when it comes to supporting whole body health, there's an herbal supplement that may be as important as your daily multivitamin? Discover Zyflamend Whole Body from New Chapter. Formulated to support a whole body healthy inflammation response, an ongoing natural process and part of the body doing its job. We often think of the inflammation response as something we can feel, such as where there are sensitive nerve endings. But did you know that we can also have an inflammation response we can't feel? And whether we are aware of it or not, our inflammation response can affect the whole body. Zyflamend is a patented blend of 10 remarkable herbs, including pure and potent turmeric, that help balance and support your body's natural, healthy inflammation response for overall health and wellness. And it's clinically tested. Discover the premier herbal supplement for whole body health from New Chapter, Zyflamend Whole Body. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Available at your local fine health food store.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by BSN, Finish First, Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils, Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation, Natural Factors, where great health begins, Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless, A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in. When the, and I'm not attacking or bashing the media. I'm part of the media, the major media outlets, you know, NBC, ABC, CBS, and all the cable, MSNBC, CNN, Fox, and whatnot. When sometimes when they report on health, I'm just speaking about health studies. Dr. Gupta does a phenomenal job from CNN. I have a lot of regard for him. I think he's a great doctor, wonderful physician, excellent journalist. I have the utmost respect for him. He didn't report the story. It was their regular anchors that reported it, and their producers gave them some lines to read, and they read it. What they reported was misleading. What they reported was true, but it was incomplete. And what they reported was, in a word, that consuming animal protein was associated with a higher risk, mortality risk, death. That was true. Here's what they didn't report. What they didn't report was that association, and it was a correlation, it's not causation, the correlation was weak. This is not an attempt on my part to advocate for the eating, the overconsumption of meat. I'm a journalist and I'm reporting, and I think you need to report it accurately. It was a weak association. After they adjusted for lifestyle and other dietary risk factors, what the researchers found was that a high, notice my language, a high consumption of protein from animal sources, what would those sources be? Meat, eggs, or dairy, was, and I'm quoting now, weakly associated with an increased rate of death, close quote. Continuing, while a high consumption of protein from plant sources, breads, cereals, not breakfast cereals, the grains, pasta, beans, nuts, and legumes, was associated with a lower mortality rate, close quote. The second part of that sentence is fine, no problem. The first part, weakly associated, they never said that when they reported it. There's something else they didn't report, which is even more interesting than anything else in this study. When you carefully analyze the data, what they found was that the association of animal protein intake with an elevated mortality risk only applied to people with at least one factor associated with an unhealthy lifestyle. That factor could have been being obese or underweight, heavy alcohol consumption, a history of smoking, or physical inactivity. Catch what I said. The association of consuming high animal protein intake with elevated mortality risk applied only to people that had one other risk factor along with that. That risk factor could have been being obese or underweight, heavy alcohol use, smoking, physical inactivity. In fact, they said that correlation between high meat consumption and early death or mortality completely disappeared in the data with a healthy lifestyle. That's what they didn't report. And that's why you need to listen to Let's Talk Nutrition. Now, in all fairness to them, sometimes they don't have, it took me a couple of minutes to do that. They don't have that kind of time. That's one of the nice features of the show. I can take my time and lay it out and give you the full narrative. Although they find time to talk about other crap that, I have to change the station and go watch something else, some of that news that's being reported. So they can take time to do those other things. They certainly, they should be more careful. Those producers, those writers for those anchors should, because that was misleading. People say, see, Martha, eating all that meat's not good. Well, that's true. But my takeaway from this study is this. If you consume a lot of meat, whether that be red meat, the protein, high consumption of protein from meat, dairy, or eggs, a high protein intake from meat, dairy, or eggs, and you're leading an unhealthy lifestyle, or at least having one of those risk factors, an unhealthy risk factor, lifestyle factor, you're flirting with trouble. People who have a healthy lifestyle and eat animal protein the healthy lifestyle tends to moderate the consumption of that meat consumption. At some point, however, even if you do have a healthy lifestyle, a chronically high diet, a diet chronically high in red meat, and especially luncheon meats, these processed meats with all the chemicals in them, is not a good idea. I do not advocate for people to abolish the eating of meat. That is, I think that's a silly idea. I don't think everybody on the planet needs to be a vegan or a vegetarian. That's stupid. That's just not going to work. It's impractical. It doesn't fit with our evolutionary makeup, and it's just nonsense. But moderation is not nonsense. And I do not advocate for high meat consumption. I do not. Moderate. We'll be back.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Alga Life, algae for life. CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show and whatever you may be doing. My guest is Dominique Ostrander, educator for Jarrow Formulas. And we'll talk with her about some of these stories and studies that are trending. And along the way, there'll be some discussion and conversation about dietary supplements, because some of these stories that I selected to report on and share with you today implicate dietary supplementation. This first story about animal protein consumption and a higher mortality rate correlation business, on one hand, as I said, is true. On the other hand, it's only true. First of all, it was a weak correlation. And second of all, it after they controlled for other lifestyle risk factors, what they found was that the only people in the study that were at a higher risk for mortality who were consuming consuming meat, especially red meat and processed meat, red meat, the luncheon meats and whatnot, if they had another risk factor, obesity, underweight, smoking, what was the other? There were a couple of others. Sedentary lifestyle, alcohol consumption. If they had another risk factor associated with that meat consumption, then there was a weak association. So if you hear this story reported on the media, you can say, I know the whole story. As I said, my guest is Dominique Ostrander, educator for Jarrow Formulas. Dominique, did you have your steak and eggs this morning?
Good morning. No, I didn't.
No?
I did not eat any steak. No, I don't eat meat.
I know. I'm being ironic. I'm being a little bit ironic. I couldn't imagine. You would probably convulse if you ate a steak, right?
Probably. Although when I was younger, that was a favorite up until I was 16. So that was definitely, I don't know what happened, but when I was 16, it was like just something in my brain went, oh, I don't want to eat meat anymore.
Really? Just like that?
Mm-hmm.
That's
just like that. It's like I literally woke up one day and said, that's it.
No rhyme or reason?
No, it wasn't political. It wasn't related to animal cruelty. It wasn't anything like that. It was just...
Do you eat fish?
Woke up one day.
Do you eat fish?
I do.
All right, so you're a vegetarian, not a vegan.
Correct.
You eat fish. Any other meat? Chicken?
No.
No other
no.
Dairy? Any dairy products?
I do eat some dairy. I do eat a little bit of cheese now and then.
Okay, that's an animal product.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese doesn't grow on trees.
Right, definitely. Definitely not vegan. I was thinking about what you were saying and what you were reporting, and and when they were saying there's one more risk factor or several other risk factors along with a diet that's high in animal products. And I was thinking back to when I did cardiac rehab, and I was thinking that it's so rare that it was one thing that you could point to that said, this is what made you sick, or this is what brought this. It was always this accumulation of things. And it's like I've said to patients over the years, it's the accumulation of expending calories that you wouldn't normally expend. Like I always said, taking the stairs, not taking the stairs. Parking further away, who cares if it's the closest parking place? The cumulative things that we do, whether they're dietary or in terms of our movement, our level of movement every day, it's cumulative. And so I think it's so rarely the fact that I just eat meat that's an issue. It's the fact that I might just eat meat and I smoke and I don't exercise. Usually, and I drink too much alcohol, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. You can break out the population into thirds, for example. If you wanted to think of it this way. Or let's not do it that way. There are like three ways, I guess, in terms of diet and lifestyle that you could sort of conceptualize this. One is where you're doing everything wrong. Diet and lifestyle are horrible, right? Then on the other end of the spectrum, where everything is right about diet and lifestyle for that person. They couldn't be any they should be canonized saints, right? Then you have where most of the people are in the population in the middle, where, you know, it's not terribly horrible and it's not absolutely perfect. It's somewhere in the middle, and within that middle sector, you can partition that out where, in matter of degrees, in other words, there are some people in the middle that are doing a little better than other people in the middle. In other words, they're a little bit, you know, they're nudging more toward the right of the scale, and some are nudging more toward the left of the scale. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So and you think about this for a second. 68% of the population's overweight or obese. Now that's clearly more than 50%. We're moving towards 70%. So there's a lot of people in the middle that are overweight and obese, that are in that middle part of the distribution, that middle portion of the distribution where most of the people are, that are overweight or obese. That's a risk factor. And their diet is not absolutely, completely horrible for some, and it's not absolutely perfect for others either. So that middle portion is also, some move more toward the horrible end, and some are pushing more toward the more perfect end. That part of the population is hard to reach. It's hard to get there and hard to persuade them, because they're not. You're wasting your time with people on the upper right-hand portion that are doing almost everything right. You got people down on the left-hand portion of the distribution, that part of the tail of the distribution where they're doing everything wrong. It's easy to save a sinner. Any improvement will be something, right?
Right, exactly.
But it's hard to get people in the middle to change. Give me somebody who's in a lot of trouble. That client, you can do something with that client. You have a client that's somewhere in the middle. They're not absolutely, their diet's not horrible, their lifestyle's not absolutely horrible, but to get them motivated is very difficult. Very difficult. Whereas,
that's very true. If
you have somebody who's in a lot of trouble, you have a better chance to motivate them. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. Think about that. I'm curious as what your experience when you were working in cardiac rehab, what that was like for you. I don't know. I'll have you share that. And then, speaking of meat consumption, there's a study out of the University of Adelaide, Dominique, about meat consumption and global obesity. Uh-oh.
At Nordic Naturals, we know that a commitment to deliver the world's safest, most effective omega oils requires an exceptional process. That's why we manage every step of production, from boat to bottle. That includes sustainably sourcing wild-caught fish from well-managed fisheries. It means using state-of-the-art equipment and technology at our manufacturing plant in Arctic Norway. Nordic Naturals bottles and encapsulates our omega-3s at our own facility and carefully ships products from our eco-friendly headquarters in California. The result? Nordic Naturals products have received more than 40 awards for taste, innovation, and product excellence. You can trust the quality of Nordic Naturals products and know you're getting all the health benefits omega-3 fish oils offer. Nordic Naturals' high-quality, great-tasting omega-3s make staying healthy easier for you and your family. When choosing an omega-3 fish oil product, choose the #1 fish oil in the U.S. Choose Nordic Naturals. Available at natural product retailers or online at NordicNaturals.com.
If you've ever had digestive issues slow you down, it's time to live digestively with the #1 high-potency probiotic, Ultimate Flora. Because with 50 billion live cultures inside you, life feels a little lighter, a little livelier, a little more you. No matter where life takes you, live digestively with Ultimate Flora probiotics from Renew Life. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. #1 probiotic brand with 15 billion or more cultures based on annual sales. How can a sweet little fruit gummy help you live digestively? Ultimate Flora Probiotic Gummies put the ultimate natural digestive support to work inside you to help you feel a little lighter, a little more you. And if raspberry lemonade's a little more you, feel bubbly in a good way with Ultimate Flora Probiotic Fizzy Drink Mix. Ultimate Flora Probiotic Gummies and Fizzy Drink Mix. 2 great ways to live digestively, deliciously. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Everyone's raving about the newest botanical superstar hitting the store shelves nationwide. Hemp-derived cannabidiol, or CBD, has been receiving a lot of attention for its tremendous promise on human health. Plus, CBD Oil by CV Sciences is the trusted brand setting the standards in this newly emerging category of plant-based extracts, offering a variety of hemp-derived CBD oil products that you can count on. In order to make the highest quality CBD oil products available, it is important to manage every step of the supply chain process, from seed to shelf. That's why, from harvesting our EU-certified hemp seeds, to laboratory testing for quality and safety, to producing our exceptional line of products, we are committed to going the extra mile. It is our commitment to you. Join the CBD evolution. Ask your local natural health retailer about Plus CBD oil products by CV Sciences today. Follow us on Facebook and learn more at pluscbdoil.com.
Exclusively from Natural Factors.
I'm Dr. Michael Murray. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk with you about PGX, a truly revolutionary natural product that works perfectly to help get at the core issues that make weight loss so difficult. PGX is a clinically proven way to help people to achieve their ideal body weight that is safe and natural. PGX leads to a dramatic reduction in the glycemic index of any food or meal. It also ultimately causes the release of compounds that achieve 2 important goals in weight loss. 1, telling your brain that you're satisfied so you eat less, and 2, improving the action of the hormone insulin. If you've ever tried to lose weight and failed, it's not your fault. You just need the tremendous support that PGX can provide. For more information on making your weight loss dream a near effortless reality, please go to pgx.com.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted Best Independent Chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Urban Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition, talking about, see if we can make sense of this, provide some direction on what people can do in their day-to-day diet to do a little better. And I'm trying to get there by reporting on some stories that focus on the consumption of meat. Now, you may say, I'm not a meat eater, or I'm a meat eater, I'm not going to change it. I'm not interested in trying to get people necessarily to abolish the eating. I think that's a silly idea. I'm not advocating for that. I think we can use these stories, these studies, to fashion some sort of insight as to what might be a more healthy approach to our diet, day-to-day diet. While to some that may seem obvious, to others not so much. And even I get a little confused. And I don't know about you, Dominique. Dominique Ostrander is my guest. I'm always open-minded and looking for ways to do better. So there's another study out of the University of Adelaide, Dominique, and it says, should we be warning consumers about overconsumption of meat as well as sugar? That was a question they posed in the study. Were you familiar with this study? This is brand.
I did. I read it.
Oh, you did read it. Okay.
I did.
Okay. There were over.
And I thought the question was sort of like, "Are you kidding?" When I first read that, I was like, "Seriously?" Like, I guess because I'm so inundated day in and day out that it just seems like this should be known. It seems like
can't assume that.
Especially sugar. It just seems like. God, do we not know this already? Like smoking's bad for your health? Do we not know this already?
Dominique, this is what I said on the show yesterday. When you do this day in and day out, sometimes you're so caught up and you're so close to it, and you have to step back. Say, why don't people get this? Why don't they get it? Why don't they should know? I'm like you, right? This is rolling around in my head. Look, for most people, these ideas are abstractions. They don't. True. They're abstract. People get up every day. The majority of the population, when they get up in the morning, put their feet on the floor, and they're not thinking about the way you and I and other people involved in this business are thinking about health, wellness, and well-being, nutrition, lifestyle. They're just trying to get to work, man. Make a living, take care of their kids.
Before my husband left this morning, because I'm always aware of what he's eating or not eating. And I was like, and it's ironic because I literally said to him this morning, you didn't really have protein yesterday, a lot of protein. You need to make sure you eat protein today because not that he didn't have any protein, it was just not a lot for his size.
Right.
He's a big guy, and so.
All right. So how many wives, girlfriends, mothers, and whatever are saying that?
Right, who says that?
So these are I've come to believe that for many people, and even sometimes for me, these things get a little abstract. They don't have any resonance in reality. You're trying sugar. Okay, yeah, sugar makes you fat. That's it. We're done. Right? That's what most people think. Sugar will make you fat. That's what most people know, and that's all they probably want to. Maybe that's all they want to know. I don't know. I would like to think that they would like to know more. I'll believe that. Maybe I'm deluded, but I'll believe that. So it's my job, your job, an educator's job to bring things to people's attention and make it less abstract and more relevant to them in their day-to-day life.
For sure.
There are a lot of people listening to this show that eat meat. I don't have any. I mean, that's a choice. Eating a diet high in meat, I don't care what the meat is. I don't care if the meat was blessed by the Pope. I don't care. It's a bad idea, man.
And I've said the same thing again to my husband, my family. Like, you don't need meat with every meal.
Well, some people believe that. You should have protein at every meal, but it doesn't have to be in the form of a meat.
Meat, exactly.
Okay. This study out of University of Adelaide, let me quote Professor Hennenberg, head of biological anthropology and comparative anatomy research unit at University of Adelaide. Our findings are likely to be controversial because they suggest that meat contributes to obesity prevalence worldwide as the same extent as sugar. He said, in the analysis of obesity prevalence across 170 countries, it's not as if they looked at Australia. We found that sugar availability in a nation explains 50% of obesity. variation, while meat availability explains the other 50%. In other words, the variance for obesity is accounted for, 50% is accounted for by sugar, and 50% is accounted for by eating meat. After connecting for differences in nations' wealth, calorie consumption, levels of urbanization, and of physical inactivity, which are all major contributors to obesity, sugar availability remained an important factor, contributing independently 13%, while meat contributed another 13% to obesity. So the point that you were making a moment ago, it's not typically just one thing. Mm-hmm. It's usually more than one thing. Too much sugar, too much meat, too much alcohol. It's always the word, the words that come before it. Too much. Mm-hmm. Right? But even a little of some things are not good for you. Even a little bit of heroin is a bad idea.
Right.
Okay? I'm just saying. But it's always too much. Too much alcohol. Too much smoke. Even a little bit of smoking is not a good idea. Some things a little bit of are in my opinion, are off the table. So this study shows that there's a correlation between sugar consumption and meat consumption, both contributing equally to global obesity. Okay, there you have it. So you were trying to figure out why is the world getting heavier and bigger and people becoming more overweight and obese? There are two of the usual suspects right there, but there's other things as well.
Mm-hmm. You wonder if the meat is being treated with something that's contributing to it.
Yeah, how about steroids?
Exactly. Yeah, and all the different hormones.
All the hormones that they pump into those into the meat to make the cattle grow faster and fatter.
Right. So metabolically, we just don't know what to do with that in terms of how our bodies will handle that.
Jarrow Formulas has a pretty interesting selection of fish oil in a dietary supplement form. There's a study coming out of Frontiers. The headline on it was Fish Oil versus Lard. Why some fat can help or hinder your diet. I am a big fan of fish oil. If I could get it, if they could give it to me intravenously, I would take it. We'll come back. Dominique will tell you about Jarrow's formula, fish oil formula, and this study. Be right back.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, that's what time it is. It's Let's Talk Nutrition time, Hammer time. Remember Hammer time? What happened to that guy?
He went bankrupt.
He went bankrupt, poor thing.
Yeah.
He started poor, he ended up poor.
He tried to reinvent himself at one time, but he was already past the...
What was his name?
MC Hammer.
MC Hammer.
Yeah, I believe he became a preacher.
Yep. Really?
Yeah, after he went through his bankruptcy and everything, and I think he did like some kind of like Christian
Good for him.
music and stuff like that. So yeah, I think the latest is he's
a preacher.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He tried to become a hardcore rapper as well.
You know, at one point he was living out of his car. When he started, he was living out of his car, and he got caught on. When was that? In the 80s? Was that in the 80s?
Late 80s, yeah.
He caught on. He became very famous and made a lot of money and lost all his money. Oh well, don't lose your health. You can always make money. Hard to make health. Not so easy. Ask my guest. She knows a lot about that. She's worked with patients in cardiac rehab. She works in the dietary supplement industry. She's out in the field all the time talking to people. Sees them at their best and at their worst, I presume. You know, many of the guests I had come on to the show, many of them are in clinical practice. And even my own physician, Dr. McElwain, who comes on. We like to bring reality to the show. Because as I was saying with talking with Dominique in the other portion of the show, that I think oftentimes what I've come to conclude is that while we assume that it's so obvious to us in the business, and we assume that, you know, it's obvious to people out there in the world trying to figure it out, it's not obvious. Much of this is highly abstract. It's not connected to reality for them. No one's connecting the dots. They think, well, sugar makes you fat. Meat, yeah. You got to watch, not so good for you. But they don't really grasp that in combination would be a horrible thing, overconsumption of both. Or any of the issues we talk about. I think things are just too abstract. And it's not anybody's fault. You know, that's why you get educated, so you understand, you know, better what is going on in day-to-day life, in reality, in practice. There's theory and there's practice. You need both. You need both. Kurt Lewin said there's nothing more theoretical than good practice, nothing more practical than good theory. But it's a hard sell to you know, be laying out all kind of theory with people to try to get them to change their behavior. Try that, you're not going to succeed. You have to try to reach people in a way that resonates with them and takes things out of abstraction. This business of eating meat. Eating meat in and of itself is not inherently a bad health idea. It's not unhealthy. It's the overconsumption of meat products, whether it be beef or meat from dairy, you know, beef itself, or these processed meats. The processed meats are really, those are the meats that really get people in trouble because they're so laced with chemicals. And all the studies I've looked at with some of these processed meats and cancer, and no. So I don't advocate for the abolishment of meat. I think that's a nonsense idea. But you got, taking it, making it more concrete, eating meat in moderate consumption of meat, the right kind of meat. Not all beef is the same. Ask a cattle rancher. She'll tell you how you raise that cattle, what you feed them. Are you injecting them with whatever? I mean, all these things make a difference. I have a lot of people. This show airs in places where there's a lot of cattle ranchers, right? And many of them are growing good, healthy cattle, good cattle. And, I used to eat red meat. I don't. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But the research tells me that you need to be careful about how much and what kind. My guest is Dominique Ostrander. Dominique, welcome back, educator for Jarrow Formulas. You make an interesting fish oil product. You guys decided at Jarrow Formulas to come out with, you have several, don't you?
We do.
And I have a reason for asking you about it, because I want to juxtapose it against a study titled Fish Oil versus Lard. But tell us about your fish oil product.
I'm sorry, that's just such a funny study. Like, gee, I wonder how that came out.
Fat. Everything was fat. It was all fat. It was all fat, good and bad.
Right.
So what about this new fish oil? It's not new, but it's relatively new to the repertoire.
Right. So, the most popular fish oil that we have is probably our EPA DHA. It's our EPA DHA balance, promoting cardiovascular health and brain function. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio of EPA to DHA, and it's just an excellent fish oil. It's pure. It's from fish. It's from anchovy and sardine. I think one of the things that I like about this fish oil is that even though it's very potent, I haven't really heard that there's a lot of burping and things like that are very commonly associated with fish oils. So we also have our phosphomega fish oil, which isn't quite as popular, and that is that particular fish oil is the phospholipid form of a fish oil. So, which the phospholipid form is the most bioavailable form of a fish oil. The others come in either usually ethyl ester or triglyceride form, and phospholipid tends to be the most bioavailable. It's what you get when you eat a whole piece of fish.
Is that the newest entry into your lineup?
The newest entry is our EPA Active. That's definitely that's the newest fish oil in there. And this is 800 milligrams of a triglyceride-based EPA, which is a naturally occurring form of fatty acids. So It's a high-dose triglyceride source of EPA.
But it doesn't have DHA in it.
Correct.
And the phospholipid is the more bioavailable. In other words, it seems to be more compatible with the person's biology.
Correct. My personal favorite is the phosphomega because of that reason, and my stomach is so sensitive. So for people that are really sensitive, that to me is the ideal fish oil, because that is a problem for a lot of people. But the EPA DHA balance again is extremely popular. I think that SKU is even in our top 10. And then we also have the newest EPA Active.
Okay. Turns out that DHA, which is fish oil, it's fat, it's polyunsaturated fatty acids, is good for the brain. This study coming out of Frontiers, fish oil versus lard, why some fat can help or hinder your diet. In this study, the study was in Frontiers in Cellular Neuroscience. That's the journal in which it was published. They said a diet high in saturated fat makes the brain struggle to control what the person will eat. Wow. So it's not just how much fat, but what kind of fat. In this study, we'll break it out a little bit more for you. in this study, what they're suggesting, what the data suggests is that a diet high in saturated fat is influencing the brain's the brain in such a way that it makes it difficult for a person to control what they eat. Well, that's news to me. We'll see. I'll break it out some more. It's a little provocative. In other words, it's affecting your choice of food. The saturated. How could that be, you might ask? That's the question that came to my mind immediately as soon as I saw that. Come back, I'll share with you what they said.
As a family-owned company since 1968, Now Foods has spent the last 46 years building a legacy in the natural health industry as a trusted leader. Now provides a comprehensive approach to wellness by offering more than 1,400 high-quality health foods, supplements, sports nutrition, and personal care products at an affordable price. Now believes that natural is better. They don't use artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, and they offer many vegetarian, organic, and gluten-free products. Their foods are all non-GMO. Since their beginning, Now has grown to become an award-winning leader in the natural health industry. But one thing has never changed: their commitment to providing the highest quality products at the best value to empower people to lead healthier lives. High quality doesn't have to mean high price. From essential oils to amino acids, multivitamins to natural sweeteners, Now has you covered. To find a store near you that carries Now products, or for more information, visit nowfoods.com. That's nowfoods.com.
Are you suffering from those awful allergies? Hay fever, sneezing, watery eyes? Here's some advice you won't want to miss.
I'm a doctor, and my patients used to dread allergy season. But then I discovered A. Vogel Allergy Relief, a unique combination of natural ingredients that usually addresses every one of my patients' symptoms. And while it's clear that the vast majority of my patients benefit significantly from A. Vogel Allergy Relief, what's even more amazing is that after using it, at least half of my patients' symptoms didn't return. As a doctor, that's the kind of outcome my patients and I can appreciate.
Get doctor-recommended A. Vogel Allergy Relief for your allergy symptoms. It's proven safe, it doesn't make you drowsy, it's fast-acting, and it may even help prevent your allergies from returning. Available at vitamin discount centers, Richards, Roll & Oats, Vitamin Shop, Nutrition Smart, and other fine health food stores.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Zinnia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Zinnia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Zinnia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Zinnia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Zinnia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, and collagen and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you're strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Zinnia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Zinnia by name. Start taking Zinnia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing. Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by BSN, Finish First, Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils, Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation, Natural Factors, where great health begins, Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless, A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. My guest is Dominique Ostrander. There's a study coming out of Frontiers, and it was published in the Frontiers in Cellular Neuroscience, and the study suggests that saturated fat, it was an experiment, by the way. It was an animal study, and they used rats in the study, and that what they found was that it tended to cause the rats in the study to lose control when they fed them a diet high in saturated fat, that they tended to struggle in how much to eat and what to eat. In the study, the researchers talk about how saturated fat causes inflammation that impedes the brain to control the food intake. In other words, people will struggle to control how much they eat, when to stop, and what type of food to eat, which are symptoms seen in obesity. Now, this is a provocative study. Dominique, they said a diet in fat can take different forms, and in fact, there are different types of fats. Saturated fats are found in lard, butter, or fried food. Unsaturated fats are rich in food such as fish, avocado, and olive oil. So they're making an argument that their data would suggest to them that a diet high in saturated fat is bad news. Before I share with you the other side of the argument, what is your take on saturated fat?
Okay. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of lard, but coconut oil, for example, I would say is amazing. But I think my take, I haven't read this study, but my first reaction, and I guess I was muted before we went to break, but would be that this is affecting ghrelin. This has something to do with diets high in saturated fat tend to affect ghrelin.
Could be. I don't know. They didn't talk about that. This is where things get real abstract again and confusing.
Mm-hmm.
I can make the other side of the argument here. For example, I found an article by Dr. Mercola, Joseph, and I like Dr. Mercola. Dr. Mercola is good at what he does. And he makes an argument. He gives, excuse me, he gives 7 reasons to eat more saturated fat. He said it improves cardiovascular risk factors. He said it contributes to stronger bones. It improves liver health. It improves healthy lungs. It improves the brain. It improves nerve signaling, and it creates for a stronger immune system. Those are 7 reasons he gives as to why people should include saturated fat in their diet.
I tend to agree. Butter, for example, I think butter is great. I don't necessarily think. I think again, it's what we talked about earlier. It's when it's coupled with other things. In and of itself, I don't think it's this horrible evil that people have made it out to be. But when it's with other things, I think then it tends to cause a problem.
And this gets complicated too, because there's not just one kind of saturated fat. There are different variations or different species of saturated fat, and some studies focus in on different types of saturated fat. So it gets complicated, and in a food you could find maybe different kinds of saturated fat in one food, and how do you separate the good one from the bad one? It's hard to do. His argument's well taken. And what he's getting at here is that infamous lipid hypothesis, which you're familiar with, that dietary fat causes heart disease. That hypothesis, this is where consumers get confused, all started with Dr. Ansel Keys. Ansel was an interesting guy, okay? And by the way, Keys, his last name, you know, in the military they have what they call K rations.
Mm-hmm.
That K was for Keys. He's the guy that invented the K rations. All right, smart guy. I have a couple of issues with Dr. Keys, however. He did the famous 7 countries study. This is where all of this argument about saturated fat and heart disease started. Ansel was the guy that made this all come into play. Ansel did something that if a graduate student would do it, they would be kicked out of school. And what Ansel Keys did, it was called it was 6 countries, 6 or 7, whatever. The problem is that there were 22 countries in the study, and Ansel left out the remaining countries. He didn't include them in the data set because it washed out the statistical findings. That is not ethical.
No, it isn't.
Okay? And so he published the study, and it claimed to prove or show the link between dietary fats and coronary heart disease. That's where that all began. And it led us down a path where people, low-fat diets, no-fat diets, and so on, and caused all kinds of havoc and nutritional havoc and ill health. All that being said, and I agree with Dr. McCullough, a certain amount of saturated fat is needed in the diet. I don't know how much he's talking about, but if a chronic consumption of saturated fat day in and day out, high in saturated fat, way out of bounds, I don't think it's a good idea. I just don't. There's too much data to suggest that it does contribute to other health issues besides heart disease. Come back, we'll talk more about fish oil and why that's such a good option from Jarrow Formulas.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace for healthy sleep naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Alga Life, algae for life. CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
What fat, how much fat, what kind and how much fat should you eat? Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. The thing that makes me nervous about this argument is that people on both sides of the argument sometimes argue in a way, including myself, that seems to be almost too categorical, being a little self-critical. You know, you heard me just say a moment ago that I believe that a diet that is excessively high in saturated fat and it's chronically consumed, meaning over a long period of time, is a bad idea. I still believe that. People such as Dr. McCullough, whom I have the utmost respect for, and Mary Ng and others would disagree with me and say that anywhere from 30 to 50% of the fat in your diet should be saturated, and would, talk about and extol the virtues of eating a diet in saturated fat, populated with saturated fat. I think it's risky business because there's enough data on both sides. It's not clear cut. And in all honesty, it's not that clear cut. There's enough data on both sides of the argument to make reasonable arguments. And so Dominique, what do you do in a situation like that then? What do you recommend to clients? When it's not so...
That's a very good question.
I mean...
Everything in... I guess I tend to always go in everything in moderation and going back to basics. I'm a big believer in basics, and to me, butter is a basic. If you have a choice between butter and some completely engineered...
I'll take butter over margarine.
Right. Oh, my gosh, absolutely. Butter over margarine any day. That's what I'm saying. So I think that if you go back to basics, if you think back, what did they eat, 30 or 40 years ago, without question, I think there's something to be said about basics. So things in their most natural state. If it had to take a lot to get it there, you probably don't want to eat it. So I tend to that's what I would say. That would be where I would gravitate towards. Deli meat, again, think about what it took to make it deli meat.
That's where, if you go, look, and I would encourage people listening and watching the show to do this. There is a website called PubMed, and as I talk to you about it, let me pull it up. And I go there all the time. I go also to Cochrane and other research sites. Use them. It's a research source, www.pubmed.org. And PubMed.org is a government-sponsored website. And I'm constantly on there looking for studies and if my computer, I don't know what's going on, I can't get there at the moment, constantly going there to find the support for what I'm trying to do on the show so that I can inform you better. PubMed is the U.S. National Library of Medicine Service and National Institutes of Health. That's who. It's NCBI, National Library of Medicine and National Institutes of Health. It's a resource. It's a wonderful resource. Type in saturated fat. Let's do it as I talk to you. Saturated fat. Let's see here. Saturated fat. Pick a keyword, Dominique. And what? Cardiovascular disease?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, cardiovascular.
All right. I typed those keywords in. You want to know how many hits I got? 39,241. Okay? There are 39,241 studies that are focusing on that issue. Okay? Now, you can start, and in that lot of studies, you will find a bunch that are going to say saturated fat contributes to heart disease, and some that are going to say it doesn't. What's a person to do? When it gets like that, for me, I say, I'm going to err on since they are not so sure, I'm going to err on the side of caution and moderate what I'm going to do, the principle of moderation that you just pointed out, Dominique. 39,241 hits I got. All right, let me just try this. Saturated fat and just the word disease. Those three key words, let's see what we get. 53,837 hits. Why? Why increased? Because now you're going to get into cancer. You'll find studies for colorectal cancer, all sorts of different cancers and other kinds of health issues correlated or implicating saturated fat. So, I guess when we talk about saturated fat, it's not just heart disease that we need to be concerned about. We need to be concerned about other things. But you have fat-oriented products. You have coconut oil, don't you?
We do.
You must sell a lot of it. It's very popular.
We do. We sell a lot of coconut oil. Yes, we have it in the for extra virgin. We have it in a capsule as well. So people that don't want to have the actual coconut oil themselves can take it in a soft gel.
I've used your coconut oil that's in the canister. What I like about your coconut oil product, everything doesn't taste like coconut.
Right. We have two different kinds. We have one that does and one that doesn't.
I must have picked up the one that doesn't. Explain the difference to the audience.
So there's coconut oil. Traditionally, I think it's Asian cuisine mostly that was known for coconut oil use. But so the fat metabolism of coconut oil, where we call it, this is where we have like this kind of catchphrase, length matters. Because although MCTs are technically composed of saturated fatty acids, their shorter chain length causes the body to handle them differently from long-chain fatty acids. And that's the biggest difference between a saturated fat and a non-saturated fat. So unlike long-chain fatty acids, medium-chain fatty acids do not require the intestinal lymphatic system or bile salts for intestinal absorption, but it enters the body via a portal system. So again, those are the differences between long-chain.
How did you get the one product not to taste like coconut oil, even though it's a coconut oil product?
I can't reveal our secrets. It's like revealing like the Colonel's secret recipe, isn't it?
Yeah, the secret sauce on Big Mac, the secret sauce. I'll tell you, but I have to choke you to death with that burger.
Did you know that the most common form of calcium supplement today is calcium carbonate, also known as limestone? You don't eat rocks as part of your balanced diet, so why would you choose to supplement your bone health nutritional needs with limestone? Our bodies understand and seek whole food sources of nutrition. New Chapter is proud to deliver Bone Strength Take Care, a calcium complex that delivers key bone health nutrients in the form of whole food, not rocks. Bone Strength Take Care also delivers key bone nourishing nutrients, including vitamins D3 and K2. Vitamin K2 is of critical importance as it ensures calcium is placed in the bone where it's needed and stays out of the arteries where it's not. Discover for yourself the whole food bone health alternative to rocks. Bone Strength Take Care, the best-selling natural bone health supplement in America. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, They have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is non-addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace for a good night's rest naturally.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Urban Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. And earlier in my conversation with Dominique Ostrander from Jarrow Formulas, educator for them, I was sharing with her and you a study from the University of Adelaide, and where they found that meat consumption contributed to global obesity. Okay? But they also looked at something else too, and then here's the question. They also looked at sugar. Which of those two Was it the case that meat contributed more to global obesity? Or was it sugar that contributed more to global obesity? Or was it the case that meat and sugar contributed equally to global obesity? So when they looked at meat and sugar in this study, what did they find? Did they find that meat contributed more to global obesity than sugar? Or did they find that sugar contributed more than meat? Or was it the case that both contributed equally to global obesity? 877-897-8255. 877-897-TALK. Dominique, welcome back. So you have your fish oil product. That's a fat-based product at Jarrow Formulas. You have coconut oil. Both one that tastes, when you cook with it, it'll taste like coconut. And then the other one, coconut oil product, where you cook with it and it doesn't taste like coconut. That's the one I use. Do you have any other fat-based products?
You know, I was trying to think about that. And
you have omega-6, don't you?
No. No, oh my gosh, not that I can recall. Wow,
I don't think you do.
I'm trying to go through it. No, I don't think so. No.
So those are.
I mean, we have a borage oil and a primrose.
Okay, those are fat.
Yes.
Borage oil, primrose oil. Do do people buy those a lot?
A lot. I wouldn't say. I mean, that's a very sought after product. You're going into the store. I want the borage oil or primrose.
What do people use those for?
A lot of times it's for hormone balance. So the gamma-linolenic acid in borage oil is what it's known for, and it's for people that are seeking balance for fatty acids related to generally like inflammatory modulation is what you would use borage oil for.
And primrose oil, you sell that as well.
We do. We sell primrose, and that's a lot of primrose is used by women for hormone balance. For a lot of times, women are told by their gynecologist to take evening primrose for like fibrocystic breast disease, when their breasts become very cystic, like hormonally. PMS, primrose is used for. A lot of women use primrose for that reason.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. According to the study out of University of Adelaide, which of the following contributed to obesity more? Was it meat contributed more to obesity? Was it sugar that contributed more? Or was it that meat and obesity contributed equally to the global obesity epidemic, according to this study? Was it meat? Was it sugar? Or was it both? Was both equally contributing? I'll give you a hint. It's usually more than one thing. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. I went back on to PubMed, and I encourage the listener and viewer to go there for yourself. You can start to do your own little research from the U.S. National Library of Medicine and National Institutes of Health. I typed in saturated fat cancer. Those were the three key words, and I got 1,036 hits, okay? This is why I utter a cautionary note. One study after another here. I pulled one at random. Dietary fat intake and ovarian cancer risk, a meta-analysis of epidemiological studies. All right, I pulled it up. I'm going to quote from the study in the abstract of the study, the last sentence. In conclusion, the meta-analysis findings indicate that high consumption of total, saturated, and trans fats, both, increase ovarian cancer risk, and different histological subtypes have different susceptibility to dietary fat, close quote. That's just one study. There are numerous other ones regarding saturated fat and the diet. Here's one: reduced or modified dietary fat for preventing cardiovascular disease. The findings are suggestive of a small but potentially important reduction in cardiovascular risk on modification of dietary fat, but not reduction of total fat in longer trials. You see, it starts to get real confusing, and you start to say, well, what should I do? It's all over the lot. And that's why I'm so, I don't know, Dominique, to be so categorical about, say, abolish it or just eat all you want. Those are two extremes. There's got to be some place in the middle where saturated fat consumption is safe and healthy, I think. Don't you?
I do. I agree. And I think it has to, again, it goes back to the basic consumption of it. So when we ate butter, we ate butter, I would say, I hate to use this, within moderation. There was when we, cooking with coconut oil, people that went fishing and ate their fish for dinner that they caught. There was basic things in nutrition that were followed that aren't necessarily being followed now for various reasons, including convenience and time and being overworked and all those things. But nevertheless, I think if you can focus on going back to the basics, you'll have a better way of navigating your way through, how much saturated fat do I need to take in or avoid?
Let's go to Sun City. Evelyn, welcome to the show. In this study, did meat contribute more to global obesity? Did sugar contribute more? Or did they contribute equally to global obesity?
Equally.
They did, Evelyn. Congratulations, Evelyn. You won a $25 supplement gift card.
Thank you very much.
How you doing, Evelyn?
Very good.
Taking care of yourself?
Yes, I do. I follow your recommendations to the T.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Evelyn. God, I wish other people would do that. It's great.
Right?
Yeah, it's good. Excellent. If I could find a girlfriend like that, God, I would be in business. Dominique, thank you for coming on to the show. Jarrow formulas, they're fish oil, they're coconut oil. Take it because your health is your wealth.